Today on IAC News, reflecting on Ashoka's life,
You can count on us to tell you about the numeral system,
spreading wealth in the name of Gupta,
Emperor Wudi's new civil system.
We've just gotten news that our beloved Emperor Ashoka of the Mauryan Empire has died. Today we would like to take some time to remember him as one of India's greatest leaders and role models. Chandragupta's grandson played a vital role in expanding the Mauryan Empire, at first in 265 BC. He was a fantastic conqueror and military commander. His reign stretched to the limits of India. Today, we remember the dreaded battles of Kalinga and the thousands that died there. Ashoka did not turn harsh or inhumane, as many leaders have before him. Instead, he abandoned conquest and violence and became a Buddhist. As a role model for all of the Mauryan Empire, he promoted toleration and right conduct. Even today, we still see the rocks and pillars that he has left across the empire. And we all know, of course, of the influence he had on Buddhism after he supported its missionaries and helped to fund many stupas and monasteries. Buddhism was spread throughout the empire because of him. He even founded hospitals for people and for animals and had wells dug and roads built with shady trees and rest houses. It has been 40 years since Ashoka first took power, and though the Mauryan Empire may not survive without him, India will always remember the great courage and acceptance that Ashoka gave his people.
He, being the very strict emperor he is, has created a system to make sure that he gets the most loyal officials. This system is called the civil system. This now means in order to be an official, you must pass an exam over Confucian classics. Schools are now being built so you can teach Confucian classics. Unfortunately, only the people of wealth can afford to go to school. Seems a bit unfair to the others who do not have the money to attend school.
India's most advanced mathematicians, who appeared during the Gupta period, created a system of numbers not too long ago that was so successful, it would not be surprising if this system of numbers evolved over many, many years and eventually became the system of numbers that people use on a daily basis. This system includes the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 0 is the most important digit, of course, because without 0, math would not be possible and would no longer be able to advance. This system of numbers has not yet been named. However, we hope that the Indian name will be associated with it, and maybe it will also honor the Arabs who are taking it to other vast lands, such as Europe. Something like the Hindu-Arabic numerals would be smart. This is our prediction for the evolution of the Hindu-Arabic numeral system.
Recently in India, under the power of the Gupta Empire, they've adopted the use of Roman coins. This hopefully will increase trade monumentally because it will allow the Indians to trade with Romans as well as other Roman territories or just anywhere else that uses Roman coins. We are also hoping that it will spread Indian cultures to other places, allowing Indian beliefs to set roots all throughout Asia. A breakout of the bubonic plague occurred on the western part of China. Experts believe that it was brought across from the east on the Silk Road by traders and travelers. Despite the anxiety about the sudden breakout, the Silk Roads are causing a boom in business. By inspiring new discoveries every day, they've increased trade by 150%. If you are unaware of what exactly the Silk Roads are, they are a series of trade routes that travel across China from east to west. The creation of these roads were inspired by the Greek Hellenistic period, where different cultures were blended together. The hope for the Silk Roads was that it would allow the Chinese to trade their goods unique to China, as well as allowing the spread of Chinese cultures and beliefs. Just recently, Persians, Romans, Armenians, and Indians have also gotten involved in the trading upon the Silk Roads. The increase of trade has encouraged rulers to order the continued construction in order to stretch the length of the roads to approximately 4,000 miles. This will hopefully allow the inventions of silk, porcelain, tea, and jade to spread across to other parts of Asia.
Of everyone living in Africa and Eurasia, as we will see today. Let's go straight to the thought bubble. As previously mentioned, the Silk Road was not a road. It's not like archaeologists working in Uzbekistan have uncovered a bunch of yield signs and baby on board stickers. It was an overland route where merchants carried goods for trade. But it was really two routes. One that connected the Eastern Mediterranean to Central Asia, and one that went from Central Asia to China. Further complicating things, the Silk Road involved sea routes. Many goods reached Rome via the Mediterranean, and goods from Central Asia found their way across the Pacific to Japan and even Java. So we shouldn't think of the Silk Road as a road, but rather as a network of trade routes. But just as now, the goods traveled more than the people who traded them. Very few traders traversed the entire Silk Road. Instead, they'd move back and forth between towns, selling to traders who'd take the goods further toward their destination, with everybody marking up prices along the way. So what'd they trade? Well, silk, for starters. For millennia, silk was only produced in China. It is spun from the cocoons of mulberry tree-eating worms, and the process of silk making, as well as the techniques for raising the worms, were closely guarded secrets since the lion's share of China's wealth came from silk production. The Chinese used silk as fishing line, to buy off nomadic raiders to keep things peaceful, and to write before they invented paper. But as an export, silk was mostly used for clothes. Silk clothing feels light in the summer and warm in the winter, and until we invented $700 pre-distressed designer jeans, decking yourself out in silk was the #1 way to show people that you were wealthy. Thanks.
In other news, Shi Hongdi, the first emperor of the Chinese Qin dynasty, was spotted after uniting China, saying that his dynasty would last unto 1,000 and 10,000 generations. We agree with this statement, of course, because we don't want to be killed or banished. Also, he has told us that the combining of smaller protective walls around China to make a larger one, which has been in the works since around 221 BC, is coming along nicely.
A new trend is appearing in China. It is known as acupuncture. Acupuncture relieves pain and even cures diseases by placing fine needles into the skin. It sounds crazy, but many people have said it works. Depending on where you place the needles, it can do majestical things for your body. Acupuncture is a jab well done. Here are some images showing acupuncture.
Buddhism is one of the major religions of China. Let's take a look back a few centuries ago to the time when it first began. Buddhism first reached China in the 1st century when our ancestors lived during a period of a less stable government. China became a dangerous place. Violence and suffering increased within China's society. Then came Buddhism, a religion that offered people escape from all suffering and also came with more hope than any previous beliefs had, Confucianism and Taoism included. As a result of this, Buddhism has spread throughout much of China by AD 200.